Hello and welcome to this Long Island weather update. Another day of doom and gloom with clouds and not much sun and just overall just dreary conditions. You can see we're kind of socked in the clouds. You're looking at our MODIS satellite for the day. You can see the clouds all over Long Island. There was a break over Pennsylvania, but other than that, the whole Northeast, except for extreme eastern Maine, dealing with cloud cover, and that goes all the way down to the mid-Atlantic. But if you're in the southeast, the south, all the way in the Midwest, you had sunshine. Also in Arizona, you had sunshine. And then the West Coast, this is your next Pacific storm. Take a look at this. You can see they're all kind of lined up. This is the fire hose that we got dealing with here. You can see here's one Pacific storm, and here's a big storm in the Atlantic as well. Looking at our weather map, you can see a very weak high pressure over us, basically barely existent. We've got a cyclonic flow or maritime polar air. However, things will change tomorrow and we get into more of a southwesterly flow ahead of a cold front, which you see well to the north. And then on the west coast, you see that next storm system coming in with heavy rain and flooding possible as another atmospheric river impacts California. If we look at the QPF here, you'll see there's a lot of rainfall here. If we go, if we go to total, we're gonna actually hit total. Can we hit total? Day 1 to 2. All right, day 1 to 3. Look at how much. Yeah, here we go. We go to the total. Look at all that, and you can see they're going to be getting tons of rain in California. Tons of rain, at least 6-7 inches of rain. So another atmospheric river for them. But you'll notice, for a change, we're relatively dry in the Northeast and the Great Lakes. Uh, if we go to the excessive rain, you'll see that you have that risk in California there. So they're going to be dealing with more of that, unfortunately. Looking at the radar, not a whole lot going on here. Um, Not a whole lot going on so far. Let's go to our other satellite image here. And you'll see, again, all the clouds that are socked in here. Pretty much, though, you do notice there's an opening here in the cloud deck that might wind up giving us a little clear skies overnight. Um, but for the most part, it's been fairly cloudy today. And I don't expect tomorrow to be much better. See, we're still stuck in this cyclonic flow here that's been plaguing the whole Northeast. Um, and there's that system coming into the West Coast there, you see. That next system, if we look at the system on the West Coast, you'll see. Let's go to the Pacific Coast here. Just take a close look at this storm here, and you can see it's another atmospheric river coming in right there. And I'm wondering if there is any thunderstorms with that, perhaps. Let's just over the lightning and see if there's any. Sometimes you get thunderstorm. Yeah, there is a little bit of lightning there with it. So this is another intense atmospheric river that's starting to come on shore into California now. But for us, you can see out west they've got all the watches in the morning. That's where all the storm issues are. For us, it's relatively quiet, just gloomy outside. And let's go look at what we got going on outside right now. 36 degrees. 35 degrees, so mid 30s generally across the area, mid to upper 30s across the area. And looking at our highs for the day, we got up to the upper 30s to around 40 and low 40s in Jersey. And the lows probably again did not fall below freezing. Well, we got a little closer to freezing. West Hampton got down to 32, 33 at Islip, but most stations just didn't make it below freezing once again. Looking at our climate summary for Islip today, our high was 38, our low was 33, and that puts us 5 degrees above normal for the day. And Central Park got up to 40. They were 3 degrees above normal for the day. Now, I think it's too soon to get the monthly weather summary. We'll see if we can get the monthly weather summary. It would be nice if we could, but I don't know. No, we're not. We haven't had it yet, so I'll have to cover that tomorrow, I think. So let's move on here and look at the models here and get this out of here and look at the model. Yeah, we'll get to that later. I know I got a little sneak preview of that. It's not looking good for those who want to see winter return. So you'll see here, looking at the surface, you'll see here we got this very weak low pressure system offshore there. It's just going to kind of just go drift southeast. And we have this low over New England that's going to bring a cold front through. late tomorrow night into Friday. They could bring a chance of rain, and then high pressure builds in for the weekend, through the weekend, and this storm here again. It's starting to I notice it's starting to come a little closer here. All right, a little bit closer. I still think it's going to miss us because it's got nowhere to go, but it's going to come a little closer. And that's going to mean more wind and possible cloud cover next week from this big storm that's going to come offshore. And again, no really cold air with that, and then we just move it along here right through next week, and here comes another weak storm here as we get into the mid-month. But you see no really big Arctic air masses coming down. Nothing really of significance coming down. You can get the GFS, and if we look at our temperature anomaly, you can see all the red on the map as we go into tomorrow. And it doesn't really get any better. We're above normal even for the weekend. Even now, originally we were going to be below normal. Originally we were going to be normal. Now we're going to be above normal. And yeah, look at that. No end in sight to this insanity. That's what it is. If you want to have winter, that's pretty much what it is. That's what the GFS looks like. And if we just go and look at the polar vortex for a moment, show you because I'm losing hope. And I was watching Joe Chaffee last night, and I watched the Joe and Joe show. It's very good weather analysis, and he was saying, it just, the problem is, let's look at this here. There's a split. But the problem is the split keeps getting pushed off and pushed off and pushed off, and you have to wonder when eventually will it happen. He's starting to lose hope, and I just want to say get well to Joe Chaffee, because unfortunately he's sick and he's not going to be able to do his show for until the weekend. But anyway, yeah, it's just you can see that there is a split in the polar vortex. There is a stratospheric warming event. But until we get into that 5-day, until we get into that time frame where it gets a little closer, it just keeps getting pushed off and pushed off. And even if we go and we look at this, and all right, there's a split in the polar vortex, and if we look at our temperatures here, it's still not really bringing down any of the cold air yet. It's still stuck mostly in the other side of the globe. And that's the problem we have. And I mean, just going back to what we're dealing with now, you can see the cold air is just, much of Canada is just not seeing a lot of really cold air. So let's go back to the CONUS view here. Exit CONUS. And go back to our weather map here, and we'll look at a few more models here as far as the rest of the week goes. Icon as well, which tends to follow the European. Move this back over here. Okay, so this is the icon here. Here comes that front. High builds in. Here's that storm again. You can see it kind of just stays suppressed. So I still don't. The storm is nowhere to go as far as moving up the coast, but it's a very strange setup, very odd. Even when I was listening to Joe Chaffee, he's like, "This is very odd." If Joe Chaffee says it's very odd, then chances are what we're seeing in the atmosphere is very abnormal. If a very experienced meteorologist is kind of saying this is a very weird pattern, and it is a very weird pattern. We all know why that is. So let's go back to the GFS, and we'll look at our. Let's go to the. So what we saw in the charts there, and I'll just go speak about, is backs up on the 6 to 10 and the 8 to 14 day. Look at this, above normal. The Great Lakes, the whole eastern two-thirds, way above normal, the country. So, you have to wonder if we're ever going to get winter here. It's just, we don't get winter anymore. If we get winter, it's a very short, brief period of time as we deal with these changes in the atmosphere, as we deal with the effects of the Arctic amplification and the climate crisis, messing up the jet stream patterns. And, of course, the Super El Nino, which, of course, the climate crisis plays a role in contributing to that Super El Nino. So let's look at the HRRR model now, the short-range models, and look at tomorrow. Obviously, will be dry, but there could be rain developing, and there's a disagreement again with this on the models. Tomorrow night, later tomorrow night, the HRRR says it's not going to happen until after 10 o'clock. Just a light area of rain. Nothing. This will be with the cold front. It'll be a light area of rain, and it won't really amount to much if we look at the HRRR. You'll see not much, maybe a quarter of an inch. All right. But if we go to the NAM 3, which is different, so we'll go to the NAM 3 next. If we go to the NAM 3. Okay, they are kind of agreeing now. The NAM 3 actually develops the area of rain to the south of us. But an earlier NAM run had the rain developing like around 8 o'clock. Well, I don't know if that was the 18Z. I don't know. They were showing it on News 12. Maybe it was this run. Look at that. It's even showing a little bit of snow, which is not going to happen. Maybe it was the 12Z run that was doing it. I think it was the 12Z run. Maybe. But the rain's not going to be until later. So I think most of the day is dry. That's an earlier run developing some snow. I don't think that's going to happen. And lately it seems like it's trending drier. So I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of precipitation with this cold front. And the reason why, it's just moisture starved. So if we go back to the HRRR here, you'll see that it's moisture starved. So as far as our dew points and wind flow tonight, you'll see we have light northerly flow and becomes light west-southwesterly tomorrow. That's going to mean much warmer temperatures for tomorrow. Will go well above normal with that west-southwest wind. And then here comes our cold front, or should I say cool front, and looking less and less impressive as time goes on here. Originally we were supposed to have a weekend where we wouldn't even make it above freezing, and now just another disappointment. But at least we'll have hopefully we'll have some clear skies. So you can see Friday we got the winds becoming northerly, but not really all that dry, the air. You can see it's well up there. Temperatures. So for our temperatures, you'll see that we'll have lows tonight probably in the mid-30s, and then tomorrow we're going to warm up. HRRR doesn't seem to be that bullish on it. But I think with that southwest wind, we'll get up to the mid to upper 40s. The reason why is there's still going to be plenty of cloud cover around. I still think we'll make it into the mid to upper 40s, but maybe not 50 for tomorrow. And then it doesn't drop off all that tomorrow night. And then for Friday, we're still in the mid 40s. So not much cooler on Friday at all. And if we go to the GFS, which we'll do next, and look at our dew points and wind flow here. So here's our dew points and wind flow. You can see, again, that southwesterly wind becoming northerly. Friday, you could see Saturday, again, this is just, this is like not even Arctic air. I can't even call it polar air. It might even be like Pacific air or northern Pacific air. And then you'll see maybe a little bit more of it comes in. You'll see the lower dew points, the northwest winds coming into the picture. You'll see it will be with us here Monday. Here's Tuesday. And there's that storm going right by. And this, again, that pressure gradient between that storm and the high to our west could produce a lot of wind from the north. As you see there, some pretty strong winds. So you'll go to the temperatures in a moment, but let's go to the winds. So you can see it will produce some strong winds from the north, and there could be some effects on the seas as well, as you see here. That's there could be some coastal flooding issues from that storm. When we get a little closer to it, we'll have a better idea. It all depends on how close that storm comes. So let's look at the temperatures now. And we'll move this along here, and you'll see it won't be all that cool behind the cold front. So we're going to probably drop to only around freezing Saturday morning, and then for the rest of Saturday, low 40s, maybe even mid 40s. And with the wind, if the wind stays up, which it probably will, we're probably not going to see radiational cooling, so lows will be around freezing. Same deal for Sunday, mid 40s. So we're still going to be above normal. And maybe we drop a little bit on Monday with upper 30s, so we get some more cloud cover from the storm. Blocking the sun, mid-70s. I meant mid-30s, mid-30s. But you see there, no real cool air. And if we could just move this all right to the end, you'll see no really cool air. It's pretty hopeless for those who want to see, especially for those who want to see a lot of snow, but also, we still haven't really seen a major snowstorm or a major snowfall. That may be all we see. Those couple of inches that we had. at the rate things are going. We'll have to see. Hopefully things turn around. But anyway, you'll see for Friday we'll have plenty of cloud cover too. I'll just hit this. You'll see the sounding. Yeah, we're plenty of cloud cover. And once we get to Saturday, I'll click this and we'll see how we do here. We'll have, this doesn't look too good. These two lines are kind of close to each other. Could be some upper level moisture to deal with. Unbelievable. Those two lines look kind of close together for Saturday. Maybe Sunday they'll be better. Maybe they'll be further apart Sunday. Yeah, maybe a little further apart. We'll have to watch for the possible upper level moisture problems because again we are getting a northwest flow aloft, but there's no connection to the Arctic. It looks like by Monday it gets a little bit better. We see the lines kind of spreading out a little more as we get toward Monday. And then Tuesday, as that storm comes closer, we'll have the clouds kind of come back in again. I'm using this because it shows the moisture profile of the atmosphere when I showed the sounding, which I like doing. So let's go look at the cloud cover next as we go into tomorrow, February 1st. And you see that we're going to have a lot of clouds around again. Though I think we'll have a better chance of seeing some sun filtered through high clouds tomorrow. At least you'll see some sun. And then for Friday, obviously back into the clouds again. And then hopefully by Saturday, we can get out of it. I think we're just dealing with, again, some clouds on the northwest flow here for Saturday. Sunday maybe a little bit better. And then here's Monday, kind of just a weird setup here, kind of on the edge of the clouds at this point. It's kind of hard to be saying. Then depending on where that storm goes, we might be dealing with cloud cover from that storm again. And then it pulls out for Friday. So let's go to the RGEM. And we'll go ahead and look at the RGEM for tomorrow. The RGEM's a little more optimistic with some sunshine tomorrow. Again, there'll be on and off high clouds, but there may be some more sunshine. I think tomorrow we'll have partly sunny skies. We'll put it that way. And then Friday, clouds, and then maybe a little bit of sun toward later in the afternoon. And then, this is what we're going to have to watch for Saturday. There's a little bit of upper-level moisture that might wind up trying to come on down. We'll have to see what winds up happening with that. Models sometimes underdo it, and we will have to see how that works. And it's just too early to tell right now. We'll have a better idea probably Friday. So I think that's going to cover pretty much everything at this point. We'll just go to Ventusky, and we will go and we will look at that storm again. I'm going to move this to next week. Let's move this to next Wednesday with that storm close by, and it is using the GFS. So let's see. This is going to show you the wind field from the storm, and you'll see this is your storm right here. And again, it's going to be a pretty strong storm here. I wonder if this could even have tropical characteristics to it. We'll have to see. It's going to be pretty intense, but it's just going to kind of slowly moving offshore. It's blocked from moving in toward the coast because of the high, but still it's very strong pressure gradient here. And it's not going to be any damaging winds. It's just going to be breezy, but my concern is the effect on the oceans. And we only got out to Wednesday on this. That's it. But right now it doesn't look too bad, but we only have out to Wednesday. So it's just too early to tell what's going to happen. You'll have a better idea next as we get toward the weekend, I think, with this storm. But right now, that's the storm that's going to be. This storm is still coming into California right now. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. Tomorrow night, we'll talk about June. Oh, God. January. June. It's so warm. I haven't seen the sun in like 8 days. It's unbelievable. This is one hell of a stretch that we've had here with the lack of sunshine. It's unbelievable. We've gone 8 days now with no sun. So we're going to talk about that because it's been a record for the amount of in January. As far as the amount of cloud cover we've had, it's actually been one of the cloudiest Januaries on record at Central Park as well as Islip. So no surprise. This month is just awful. One of the worst Januaries I've ever been through. And, even if it was above normal, if it was just sunny, it would help. But this is horrible. Anyway, that's all. Thank you for watching and have a good night.